Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us for the Strategic Arts and Education Initiative, Artistic Literacy and Professional Development and Capacity Building. I'm Crystal, and I'm here with my co-host from the Confined Arts, Isaac Scott.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Peace and blessings. Thank you for being here with us for the third iteration of our keys to successful entrepreneurship. Excuse me. We have so many workshops going on. It's getting a lot, but it's a blessing. We're here with the third part of that, and we'll go on and get into our community agreements now.
Community agreements. Be engaged, ask and answer questions. We're here to learn from your experiences too. Come as you are, and it's okay to not be people ready. You can stay in your pajamas if you are. Please remain muted and with your camera off. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, and if you're unsure how to use the chat, let us know. We will answer your questions during Q&A. Today we actually have 2 Q&As. Use the hold word in the chat if something is unclear or needs further explanation. If you need to take a break, pause, step back, step away. The session is being recorded, so you can view it later at your own pace. You're muted.
Sorry, guys. This is an opportunity right now for you to introduce yourself in the chat, share what you like, get to know the community of people who are on with you. What's your name? Where you're from? What's your favorite color? Where do you do business, or where do you see your business at in 5 years?
This is our digital land acknowledgement. Since our activities are shared and digitally on the internet, let's take a moment to consider the legacy of colonization embedded within the technology, structures, and the ways of thinking we use every day. We're using equipment and high-speed internet not available in many indigenous communities. Even the technologies that are central to much of the art we make leave significant carbon footprints, contributing to the changing climates that disproportionately affect indigenous people worldwide. I invite you to join us in acknowledging all of this, as well as our shared responsibilities to make good in time of this time, and for each of us to consider our roles in reconciliation, decolonization, and allyship. Adrian Wong. My name is Crystal. I also go by Crystal Letters. I'm a multidisciplinary mixed media performance artist, poet, painter, And I do a little bit of everything, but one of my main freelance focuses is social media marketing and public relations. I was born in Jersey City, and I am the owner of Crystal Letters, LLC, which provides social media marketing and public relations marketing to nonprofits and artists from all over the world. And I am also the co-producer of Open Road Poetry with my co-partner, Rescue Poetics. And I have the opportunity today to be here with the Confined Arts to teach you about some social media and marketing tips.
So just to recap, this workshop is taken part as part of the Strategic Arts and Engagement Initiative. This was funded by a grant from the Ford Foundation. The mission of the Strategic Arts and Education Initiative is to provide free artistic literacy, professional development, and capacity building training and workshops. With that, a little bit about myself. My name is Isaac Scott. I'm a multidisciplinary visual artist and journalist. I'm the CEO of Isaac's Quarterly LLC and the executive director of the Confined Arts at Another Choice Youth and Family Outreach here in East Harlem, which is where I'm at right now. I'm at our workshop for the Confined Arts right in East Harlem on 116th Street in Madison. And I'll take the opportunity to acknowledge our co-partner in forming this iteration of workshops, Edwin Santana from Tough Art Media. Edwin Santana is a Puerto Rican freedom fighter, a spoken word artist, and a formerly incarcerated individual and advocate for criminal justice. So I just wanted to acknowledge Edwin as he has taken part in the first and helped us to really conceptualize the work we're doing today. Okay, so with that, having had a chance to breathe a second, woo side out. I think this Saturday we kind of, it's a little edgy, the rain and everything. So we want to just take a moment to just mellow out for a second. We're going to go through this workshop, and in this workshop, we'll do it in different parts. We'll have some discussion that me and Crystal take part in, and just giving you information. And then we'll also play a few videos that we found online to be very helpful. And we've used this strategy to help you to know that you also can search out some videos with what we like to call a YouTubeversity. There's so much you can learn right on YouTube. So we found some videos that we think will also be helpful, and we want to encourage you to use that strategy as well. And with that, I'll pass it back to Crystal to get us started.
Thank you, Isaac. The art of marketing is the art of brand building. If you are not a brand, you are a commodity. Then price is everything, and the low-cost producer is the only winner. Philip Coulter. Workshop series and a review and a snapshot. The previous topic that we spoke about, workshop number one, was identifying your niche, and workshop number 2 was business structure and business management. Identifying your niche.
Okay, so with this workshop, I'm going to really speed through it. And then at the end of this recap, we'll open it up for questions for anyone who didn't take part in the first 2 workshops, or even if you did and you still wanted to ask a question or 2. So with this part, what is your brand? What is your mission? Do you have a brand kit? So all of these questions that we asked initially, what need is your product or service fulfilling? When you start to think about your niche and what is it you're going into business with or for, is it unique to you? What is it about it that you feel this would be successful? What is the language that is associated with the industry or the product of your service? Do you need to obtain a license or a certificate? A lot of these things is what we covered in the identifying your niche. So we will recap really quickly, but we do encourage you to go back onto the webpage, the same page that you registered on, and do watch the videos to go in detail. But we will do a bit of a recap for you. Part of when you start thinking about your niche, we can go to the next slide, Crystal. When you start to think about your niche, you should start to think about your skills. You should know your skills versus your talents. And the skill is an expertise that can be acquired by doing things over time. right? This is when you learn how to play the piano, you learn how to play the guitar, speaking multiple language. These are skills, but talents refer to an inborn and special ability that someone has. So knowing those two things is very, very important when you move into identifying your niche. Also, how do these things relate to each other? How can I take my talent and then gain some extra skills around them? So these are some things we should think about and consider. Uh, some other questions we explored was, what skills do you need for your business? This was, I mentioned this really quickly, but professional development for you is very, very important. What skills do you need for your business? So yes, maybe you may be good at something, or you may have a particular talent, but to actually run that business, you may need a few extra skills for that. You may need some skills in tech in some different areas that you didn't think you may need to engage people. You may need some communication skills that you didn't know that you may have needed to communicate to your audience, communicate to your customers, and things of that nature. So what skills do you need for your business? What services or products are you providing or seek to provide? Have you thought about that? How will you actually make money? What is it that you're going to be providing? Who is the audience for your work, and what need is your product or service fulfilling for them? This is important. If you can hone in on what the need is that you're providing for people, then you can always target your marketing in that way. Hey, we will help you address this area. We will help you fulfill this need. Our product, our service will fulfill this need. So understanding who is your audience, and what is the need of your product. Also, what is your mission aside from making money? This is something unique to this workshop series, because we encourage you to have a mission that is aside from just making money. Yes, we want to make money as entrepreneurs, but what is your mission aside for that? Is your mission to also increase literacy through the reading services you provide? Is your mission also to increase visibility, increase representation in the way that you provide your artistic skill, or whatever that skill or service, or whatever it is that you're providing? What is your mission aside from making money? Another question is, what is the language or terminology associated with the industry or product of your service? So this is important to know. Like when you're a doctor, right? Doctors have certain language, and they have a terminology that they use in their field and in their industry. And a lot of times when we go to the doctor, they have to explain to us what they're talking about, right? But amongst their industry, they have a language and a terminology that they use. What is the language and the terminology of the business or the industry that you are working in? Understanding the language will then help you to be able to communicate effectively to your customers. Do you need or can you obtain a license or a certificate for your work? This is very important. The more people can see that you're licensed, or that you have certificates or degrees or paperwork, something that validates what you're talking about, the better. You don't have to, I mean, the more the better, but as long as you can show at least that I am certified to do what I'm telling you I can do. And I have the permission, which is the license. The difference is the certification is more like you have the knowledge to provide. The license is you have the permission to provide. So understanding those differences and understanding whether you need those. Like, for an example, Isaac's Quarterly, we're going to move into some different sort of e-commerce work, and we're also going to start to sell things more, and we may need a license, a resale license, to do that, right? We didn't need a license to provide services before, but as we seek to increase or expand services, we will need to get different licenses, and we may even need to get certificates validating our ability to do this work. So keeping that in mind, what professional development support can improve the quality of your work? These two go hand in hand, and professional development is very, very important. The world changes, industries change, people's attitudes towards a product changes. So it is important that you stay up to date with how you can continue to keep your product or your service at the cutting edge. How do you keep it innovative? How do you keep it right there at the forefront so that you can stand out and stand alone in what you're doing, and not just be lost in the saturation of everyone else who may be in that industry? What makes you unique? How is your professional development and the support that you receive going to help you to stand out? So with that, I'll pass it to Crystal to go through the business structure.
Thank you, Isaac. So for business structure, if you are a new business owner or you're looking to open up your business, there are different types of businesses that you can open. The first being sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship, also known as a sole tradership, individual entrepreneurs and proprietorship, or proprietorship is a type of enterprise owned and run by one person in which there is no legal distinction between the owner and the business entity. So that means if there was ever something to happen between you and your business, you would personally be affected by it. A sole proprietor does not necessarily work alone and may employ other people. There's also a single member LLC, which is what Crystal Letters is. A single member LLC is a way that you can set up your business that provides you with more limited liability protection than you would have received as a sole proprietorship. So in the case that if you're working for a client and they decide that they would like to take you to court, or there are taxes being charged toward your business, the business will be taxed and your individual accounts will not be taxed. Or your business will have to go to court and you yourself would be protected by the clause of you having a single member LLC. So a single member limited liability company is an LLC with only one owner. The word single member recognizes that the LLC has one owner, also known as a member. Self-employed or independent contractor. What is being self-employed, or what is being an independent contractor? A self-employed person does not work for a specific employer who pays them a consistent salary or wage. Self-employed individuals or independent contractors earn income by contracting with trades or businesses directly. Self-employed individuals will use their personal social security number when filling out contract information. In most cases, the payer will not withhold taxes. So this becomes the responsibility of the self-employed individual. Self-employed individuals may be involved in a variety of occupations, but generally are highly skilled at a particular kind of work. And this could be somebody who is a writer, tradespeople, freelancers, traders, investors, lawyers, salespeople, and insurance agents. All may be self-employed persons. A 501c3 nonprofit. What is a 501c3 nonprofit? Section 501c3 is a portion of the U.S. Internal Revenue Code, IRC, and a specific tax category for nonprofit organizations. Organizations that meet the Section 501c3 requirements are exempt from federal income tax. Those who qualify for 501c3 status can say that donations are tax deductible. Types of 501c3: charitable organizations, churches and religious organizations, and private foundations. Business management. I think you want to take over on this one, or you want me to just keep going?
You can keep going if you don't mind.
Okay. So when it comes to business management, the first thing that we need to focus on is revenue streams. What is passive income? Passive income is a type of unearned income that is acquired automatically with minimal labor to earn or maintain. It is often combined with another source of income, such as regular employment or a side job. Passive income, as an acquired income, is taxable. So we have recurring revenue, which is revenue that is coming from old and new users. We have non-recurring revenue, which is revenue that is provided by new clients that you might make. And then we have extra revenue, which is revenue that comes from passive income. So if you have a company and you are selling t-shirts on your website where people can just go and click and buy, that makes it easier for them to just make the purchase. And then now you have this stream of revenue that's going straight into your business and you don't even have to bat an eye for it. Passive income also comes from donations. So if you are a nonprofit owner and somebody makes a donation to your business, that'll automatically count as passive income.
I can take this. You want me? Yeah, I can take this. Give you a break. Okay, so income and expense tracking. We noted there are several softwares and different platforms that you can use, but the two we recommend specifically is Intuit QuickBooks, because QuickBooks is very comprehensive. It is a challenge to get to learn how to use, but there are a lot of free tutorials that'll help you to use it. But QuickBooks is very helpful for tracking expenses, tracking income, also to help you with your receipts and storing things, paying invoices, all of those things you'll have to do as a business. Google Sheets is also a platform where you can do things manually. The reason that I particularly recommended Google Sheets is because I like to create my budgets from scratch. Because it gives me the flexibility of creating formulas that are comfortable for me to be able to put in a number in a certain cell, and then it pops up a total, or it fixes everything for me. So in a lot of ways, I'm pretty sure you can do all of this in QuickBooks. But for me, just I'm an old school, I grew up on Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. So Google Sheets has been very helpful to me. So if you're familiar with this, with Excel, this may be an option that you might want to take just for simple tracking. Your tracking doesn't have to be very comprehensive, but it should be detailed. You should know what you're spending and how much you're making in. I can do the next slide too, Crystal. I don't mind. Yeah. So contracts and agreements. This is very, very important. When you start working with people, you may need contracts and agreements for different purposes. You may need things like a non-disclosure agreement if you are sharing information that you don't want a person to share, that's relevant to your business or your product or your service. Maybe you have a recipe and you consult another cook, and you don't want that cook to take your recipe and then publish it. You might ask them to sign a non-disclosure agreement that's saying that they won't share anything that you're showing them or working with them on. So it's more of a protection clause. Same way the confidentiality agreement would allow you to keep things confidential and to hold people accountable at a point in which they don't and they disclose information that's private. You have a non-compete clause. Krista, do you want to explain this one? I remember you put this one on.
Yeah, sure. So a non-compete clause means if you are contracted by a company that exclusively wants you to only do photography for them, they will have you sign a non-compete so that you're not allowed to work or get contracted by a different company. This could be out of state, in state, and you just can't work with anybody else to do that photography until your contract has been completed. So if they have you set in a contract for about a year, then that means you are stuck as soon as you sign it. Your name goes down, that you're stuck in that contract until it's complete. And then that kind of that might damper your opportunities to go and work for other people.
Right.
And for the next one, I think you put that one down, the fiscal sponsorship agreement.
Yeah, I definitely thank you for that. I was also going to say, like, with that non-complete clause, just be careful, because if the you don't, it may be good to be locked in to something if the money is right or the opportunity is right, or you just want to focus on that one thing. But just be careful with that going in, because it, like Crystal said, it will block you from being able to take advantage of other opportunities simultaneously. I'll finish out this slide, Crystal, and then let you take it back over. I was the fiscal sponsorship agreement. This is important to note for people who uh, are thinking of starting a nonprofit. If you are just seeking to have a program or a small initiative that will, do charitable work, you may not need to form a whole nonprofit. It may be more beneficial that you form your LLC, and then you partner with an organization that can provide fiscal sponsorship for the program or the initiative that you've created under your business. So that's what we've done essentially with Isaac's Quarterly and the Confined Arts. Isaac's Quarterly has partnered with Another Choice Youth and Family Outreach, and we have a fiscal sponsorship agreement. So all of the funds for the Confined Arts comes through another Choice Youth and Family Outreach because they are the nonprofit organization. So the money we were granted for the Ford Foundation was granted to another Choice Youth and Family Outreach for the purposes of the work of our program, right? So this is something that is legal, you can do, and it doesn't block your organization from being a for-profit organization. So this is something to keep in mind. You can form your LLC and you can still do charitable work. So I just outlined that process for people because I see a lot of folks coming home from prison and want to start nonprofits, but when you talk to them about what they want to do, ultimately, it's not just charitable work. So maybe think about that and how you want to position yourself. And also, just service agreements, agreements pertaining to the service that you will provide. There are also collaboration agreements there are a lot of different types of agreements that you could be going into. And also annual reports. So we outlined in our previous workshop annual reports in two ways. One, the annual report that is necessary from the state. So the state requires an annual report. In New York, it's called the Banal Report, and that's biannually, actually. And I think it's a bit different in Jersey. Mm-hmm. And also the annual report that we also referenced was you actually keeping track of what you've done all year. You know, it is important to know what you have done all year because you want to be able to speak to people and say, hey, last year we did X, Y, and Z. You know, this is helpful for when you are going for business loans, for when you are going for capital funding, venture capitals, when you're going for grants. Everyone wants to know your history. What have you done already? So it's important that you keep track via an annual report. So with that, I'll pass it back to Chris to do the tax overview snapshot.
Okay, thank you. And if it's okay, I'm just going to chime in for the service agreements. If you are a contract worker and you're working for a bunch of different clients, it's best to make sure that you have your clients sign a service agreement because that way they know exactly what they're getting, what the scope of work is going to be. And if they decide halfway down the line, after they've already signed the contract, that they want to have you work additional hours or they want to have you do something that's outside of the scope of work. So if you were a photographer, and then now they're asking you to do video work, if it's not part of your service agreement, you'll have to give them a secondary service agreement. So then that way the new rate is enclosed in that. And then if you're from New Jersey, your annual report will most likely cost you about maybe $25 to fill out. But you can do it through the state. And most of the time, depending on what state you're from, you could just look it up online, just type in annual report. And this is something, like Isaac said, you have to do every year. And then we have business structured tax overview snapshot. So here are the tax considerations for LLCs, S Corps, C Corps, nonprofits, and sole proprietorships. So for tax treatment, as an LLC, you pass through taxes. Most often, LLC members are taxed on their personal tax returns. Fees are tax deductible. For any kind of formation that you might do. So if you're filing with a legal state entity such as Rocket Lawyer or LegalZoom, you only have to pay for the state fee. If you are an S Corp company, you can also pass through taxes. So S Corp shareholders are taxed on their personal tax returns as well. And the same thing with the formation fees. Fees are tax deductible. So if you form your business through any of these companies, Rocket Lawyer, LegalZoom, at the end of the year, that fee that they charge you for the formation, as long as you keep that receipt, you could turn that into your tax person and then you can get a little bit of money back. And then if you're a C Corp, double taxation. So C Corp income is taxed at the corporate level first and then again at the personal level. The fees are also tax deductible for formation. Nonprofit organizations can apply for tax exempt status and donations are tax deductible. So one thing that's great about being tax exempt as a nonprofit, if you go to places like Office Depot or Home Depot, Lowe's, you can use your tax exempt status when you're checking out. So then that way you don't get charged a tax and you can still get the stuff that you need and take it with you. And formation fees are also tax deductible. If you're a sole proprietorships are taxed only on their owner's tax return. So that means your personal social security number will be taxed for any business that you're doing and any taxes that you have to pay. but please note that for formation fees, those are also tax deductible. Professional development. Oh, this is all yours. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Continue to educate yourself on your business, your work, and your audience. With that, we wanted to, before we go into today's topic, offer an opportunity. I know we did a quick snapshot of the first two workshops. If there are any questions from anyone in the room with me or online virtually, we would take some questions right now. If not, then we'll take a minute or two and then transition into the workshop for today's topic. So if there are any questions, please drop them in the chat. We're happy to answer. If you guys have any questions, let me know over here. Rev and Carlise. Okay, cool. So no questions in here.
No questions in the chat yet.
Okay, cool. Okay. You feel you want to keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. So today's topic is gaining visibility, marketing, and advertising. I am so grateful for this workshop because this is Crystal's expertise. So there's not much I have to run through on this, but what I can say is that visibility has been the key to me being able to have the success that I have had. And it has been through a lot of the strategies we are going to share with using your social media, with creating websites and different things where people can find you, they can learn about you, and they can develop their opinion about you, because that's what people need. A lot of times people need to know who's the owner, who is this person trying to sell me something, and that will more than not be the reason why they are supporting your brand and your business. So as much as you can gain visibility for the work that you are doing, it is very, very helpful. So I'm going to pass it over to Crystal to lead this portion of the workshop, and I'll just chime in on the areas that are assigned to me. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Isaac. So let's start off with market research. Gathering information about your customers' needs and preferences is an important part to finding your niche market. Knowing what interests your target audience can help you pinpoint their sources for upcoming events and media. Do you have a website?
Okay, everybody. So
oh yeah, go ahead.
Take a second
I didn't realize this was a video.
Easy.
I think this just played on its own. So let me give it a preface before we play it. So with regards to your website, this is, and I'm glad this is at the beginning, because when you are thinking about your business, your brand, how people are going to find you, the website is something that is a non-negotiable. There are a lot of different options. So I know like websites are very expensive. There are fees associated with websites. I can say really, really quickly, your domain. The difference is in the fees that you should understand is that you will have a domain fee, which is your .com, your .org, your .net, your .info, whatever your is. That is your domain name, and you will most likely purchase it for a full year for about $15 to like $25, and that would be for the full year. The fee that is a bit more is the publishing fee, because you have to publish a website. So once you have to create it and then publish it on that domain. So usually sites get you with the publishing fee. So that's a little bit more than just your domain costs. But in any event, most of the websites, the publishing fee will be like $25 a month to like $40 a month, depending on what carrier you use, or excuse me, what platform you use, and how complex you want your website to be. You can also pay for this in the full year. So that's also something to consider. That way you don't have to deal with the monthly bills. But I did a very, very quick tutorial on websites that we can play right now. Is that cool?
Hold on one second. I'm gonna stop the share. I'm gonna see if we could do this full screen.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yep.
I mean, 1 second.
it seems like it can be very intimidating to make a website, but it's actually one of the most easiest things that you can do, especially nowadays, the way they make websites so user friendly. But I want to go into Weebly. I'm going to actually go to our site, the Confined Arts, and I will go right there. I'll go on our homepage, show you how easy it is to navigate stuff. So this is the Confined Arts homepage. Check us out, theconfinedarts.org. So how Weebly works is it's very much a drag and drop feature, a drag and drop platform rather, excuse me. You will have all of your different elements here. You have your title, you have your text, you have your image, you have a gallery, which would consist of a number of images. You have a slideshow if that's what you want to put. You can put a location sticker somewhere. This is really good for when you are making a contact page and you want people to be able to see your location on a map. You can create a contact form. You can create a newsletter form so that you can obtain emails from people. Buttons are very important. You can also create an embed code. An embed code will allow you to embed posts on your site. It would also allow you to embed forms and different other apparatus on your site. So different features you can embed, but this is mainly used for when people want to add their social media posts directly to their website. So maybe you have a post that's relevant to some work you want to present on the website, and maybe it's gotten a lot of likes, so you want to show that on your website. Or maybe you want to bring more attention to that post by using your website because maybe your website has a lot of traffic. In those ways, you're able to embed the link to that post directly onto your website. And again, you can also use this feature with Google Forms and embed forms directly onto your website. So with Weebly, you also get an opportunity to make different sections. So this would be considered a section. And in that section, I can edit my background. I can move this section. I can even delete this entire section, right? And then it would actually be blank. I wouldn't have anything here. But you could also do things like, I want you to understand how relatively simple this is once you learn the software. Everything is really as simple as dragging and dropping your headers right here. You can take your header off if you don't want a header, right? You can put no header, and then you'll see it took off our entire header, but I actually like our header on our website, so I'll put the header back, right? Visibility. You can make your page a public page. You can make it a site password page. This is important in case you have pages you have information on, or you want to post a particular video to, and you want to have a private link to it. Maybe you are selling something online and you want people to be able to go to this page, but everybody can't see that page. So it's a site password that they would need to access that page. There's a lot of different reasons for why you would want to have a password on a page, but that's not traditionally what people do on websites. Generally, all pages are public and are completely visible. So again, Weebly is a very, very easy feature. This is a text box. As you can see, when you go on your text box, you will have all of your normal options to bold, italicize, underline, increase the size, decrease the size, change the color, add a link, align it, bullet point it, number it, remove your formatting, undo, and redo. These are a lot of the same features you get inside of Microsoft Word, Google Documents, all of those things, they remain the same. When you click on your elements, you get the options of creating links on top of them. So for an example, this image I just clicked on, I can add a link to it, to a certain page. So right now there is a link on it, and it's linked to a page, standard page. It could be linked to a website. It could be linked to a product page. It could be linked to a blog post. And a blog post is just a page where you have reoccurring posts. So if you wanted to post a different you can think of it like a social media news feed in the sense that you post, and your posts will be reoccurring. They will show up in the order in which you posted it. So you have post pages. You can link it to a phone number, a file, or an email, which would then just pop up the email prompt, and you would have to send it somewhere. You would put the email in here, and then you would actually when you click on the link, it would pop up the email app that you use for your device, and then it would have the email that you've already put here, and it would be people automatically emailing you at that email. That wouldn't be a choice you use so much for an image, unless the image was like email us today, then you put the email link on it, so it's more of a creative and aesthetic option that you have. One of the things I will say is make sure that your website is user friendly. Make sure that it's not just geared towards what you like, but that people can come on it, get the information they need, and get out of there without having to get confused or get frustrated. And you do want people to stay on your website, so as much as you can keep from linking people off of your site with the links that you have, I would strongly suggest that. But again, this is a drag and drop feature. Everything is here. So you have your YouTube, you have audio, high definition videos. There's so much that you can just add right onto your page. You would drag it, put it wherever. The blue line would indicate exactly where everything would fall, and it would be aligned to where you wanted it. You also have the more feature where you can go and install some additional apps. Some of them are free, some of them are paid for, but they have additional features. They have surveys, social media icons, search boxes if you want people to be able to search on pages on your site. This is actually a feature I might reconsider now that we've made some complete updates to our site, and there's a lot of information that we may want people to get. So maybe on the home page, I'll add something like a search box, and then it'll give people the option of searching through our site for stuff, and they can get right to the page quicker. Yes, now that I'm actually recording this, I think I will circle back and make a search box on our site. So pretty much Weebly is a very user-friendly site. I do encourage you to use it. There are many tutorials already out on Weebly, but we are more than happy to do a tutorial on Weebly fully. And I can go from scratch, from building up a site from scratch, so let's transition over to GoDaddy now. GoDaddy is also very user-friendly. I want to encourage you to, I actually think that GoDaddy.com is a lot more geared towards people who don't have any experience with building a website. And even folks who don't have any design, like if you feel like, hey, I don't have a design bone in my body, then maybe you might want to get a GoDaddy site, because GoDaddy sites, let me just make a new page for you to see something. On GoDaddy sites, they actually, it's a new page. So they actually give you so many templates that you can add. So with GoDaddy is different. So when you add a section, they give you an option of the section. So these sections are already pre-made and laid out for you. So that it cuts a lot of your design time a lot. So if designing your website is not something you want to invest too much time in, then perhaps GoDaddy is a better option for you, because then you have the options of different pages that they can give you. So for an example, when you click recommended, they give you some options for some traditional layouts. If you click take payments, they will give you some different layout options for what you could do for your payments, right? You can position them to be this way, and that you have all your buttons on the side with an image. You can have your buttons horizontally across in this fashion as well with this fashion. If you were to go down to like audio and video, you get some more options. So maybe you just want audio. So it'll give you some options for how you could just use an audio file on a page. and give it a good aesthetic, right? You could also live stream. Some people are just live streaming to certain pages. If you had a podcast, there's some options for you to be able to add all of the series, all of the and this is similar to a blog post in that every time you upload a new podcast, it would put it in order, and you would have a list of all of your podcasts. Videos, same fashion. You can outline your videos how you want. I used this layout in the past, this 3 layout. I actually think this one is also a beautiful one. If you have a number of videos you want to show, this is a great layout to use, and all you have to do is insert your YouTube links. I will say that I do not, based on my experience with this software, I have not seen a feature for you to be able to upload videos that are not on YouTube already. I am sure that you can do that. I'm not sure if it's a matter of coding or what, but do keep in mind that the quickest way to get videos up on GoDaddy is to have them already on YouTube, where you can access the link and just drag and drop your link. So you also have a blog post, as I mentioned, so you could, you would have a blog, like, so we have one, right? Every time we add an event, these are good for events. So every time you have a new event, you add the information about it, an image about it, and it will show it in order. So once one event is over, you can add your next event, or you can add all of your events at one time. And as they take place and they are over, it will move, it will no longer show, and it will show the upcoming event. So you will be able to then go to your recent events to see all the past events, but what will be visible will always be upcoming events. And this is already a layout for you. All you have to do is put in the information, and you don't have to worry about laying it out. If your information is aligned, your pictures are aligned, same size, none of that, it does the work for you. So GoDaddy, in a lot of ways, is really good for people who do not feel like they want to design their own sites themselves. So you have your general pages. So traditionally, when we make a website, you want to have your general pages like about. So on your about page, it should tell us about the mission. It should tell us about your organization. Maybe you have a bio of yourself up there. So you should have an about page, who we are. They have some layouts here. They have a page full of buttons. If you need a page full of buttons, content, and this is just different how you want to lay out the content on your site. You can lay it out in this gallery style here. You can lay it out here in the more traditional way. All of these are really like traditional, if you will. And I think right now what we're seeing is a lot of creativity on people's websites. So please, feel free to use these structures as a means of providing you some guidance in your design, but you don't have to be a slave to these designs. You are free to, move stuff around. In GoDaddy, you won't be able to really work outside of the structures that they have, but if you can still add additional features. So you can take a particular layout that's already designed and add some more stuff on it. Also keeping in mind that you won't just add one section to a page. So you'll add one section at a time to the page. So right here, we have this section, right? And then say we are adding another section under this where we just want to, get some contact information from people. So maybe we'll add this section under it. Right, and then under that, so we have here, we could put all the information. So say this was a job position post we were making, right? We could put the information about the job here, the position, the requirements, qualifications, and then give you all of the information here. Hey, apply now, and you would fill out the information. On the side, we could determine where the form would be going, how the form will be managed. We can decide whether it's a required fill or not. So all of this is to say that websites are not as intimidating as they may seem, but they are very, very necessary.
Okay. So one of the other additional things I will say, just ending off this section, is that Google does have a free option for you if you are interested in, making a website, but you don't have money immediately. The website, I listed it on the slides, but we will also put it in the resources, but it's sites.google.com. And these are free sites from Google. As long as you have a Google account, you'll be able to publish a site, and it has all of the same features that I showed you in GoDaddy. Not as much as the structure of everything being put together, but it does allow you to add every single element that you would want, change whatever you want. And again, that's a free site. So with that, I'll pass it back to Crystal for social media platforms.
Thank you so much, Isaac. So, are you at least on one social media platform? The main platforms that we have right now are Facebook, Instagram, X, which was formerly Twitter, and we have LinkedIn. So we want to make sure that if you are a small business owner of any size, that you at least have one of these pages open. Because that way, whatever content you're producing, whatever events that you have that are going on, you have an opportunity to share it. And this is the new age version of word of mouth. So, sometimes when you have something that's coming up that could be happening 2 days from now, for a fact, if you can post it on Facebook and Instagram, at least 1 or 2 people will go. And they might be able to tell a few people who might be interested in the same thing. So the next thing that we have to take into consideration is some social media tools that we use for social media management. If you are a new business owner, one of your best friends will most likely become Meta Business Suite because it's free. If you open up a business page on Facebook and you decide that you want to run the entire business just strictly through there, you can do it because Meta Business Suite is a new feature that they recently created for new business pages where you can now manage your Facebook streams and you can manage your Instagram stream at the same time. You can schedule a social media post and you can have it go out at any point. So if you have a project that's coming up next week, you can schedule all your posts out to go once a day at the time that you think is best appropriate, that your audience might be looking at your social media accounts. But then there are also some paid options. So if you are a high capacity business and you have events or workshops that you're churning out left and right, and you just want to know that you're secure and you have somebody who is doing the posting for you or somebody on your team who is doing the social media already, you might want to pay for something like Hootsuite. Hootsuite basically gives you a quick calendar rundown of all the posts that you will be putting up. They help you out with hashtags. They help you out with, I think they just recently started doing something similar to GPT chat, where an AI bot can come up with different slogans or different social media posts for you, and you really don't have to do much other than pay for the membership, and then they give you so many options. Buffer also works the same way, but the only thing with Buffer, it's a little outdated at this point, but you will still have the ability to add all your posts to your social media accounts. I think they cover at this point Facebook, Instagram, and most likely Twitter. And all of these different sources that we have here, they all cover 1 or 2 different social media platforms. So Meta Business Suite will cover Instagram and Facebook. Hootsuite will cover Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Buffer will also cover Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Later does the same 3, and so does Sprout Social. So you might see different social media companies or marketing companies that will actually just put out a membership, but that's because they're doing so much at once, and they probably have a lot of people on their teams who can help the accounts just stay afloat. And with all the tools like Hootsuite, Buffer, Later, and Sprout Social, you can actually have more than one person working on your team at the same time. With Meta Business Suite, you do have an option to add admins. So they can have the ability to work with Meta Business Suite. But if you're like a single member LLC, or you are a sole proprietorship, Meta Business Suite just makes it very simple for you to just upload something into Meta Business Suite and then just post it whenever you have a chance. So we are going to queue up our video, which is part of our social media marketing tools, and this is going to show you how to create a Facebook business page.
So I can, yeah,
Okay.
no, I think maybe if you stop, I can share the videos in full screen. That way, if you want to still talk around,
Okay.
you don't have to worry about that. Take
All right,
that stress off for you. Okay. Oh, sorry. Make sure that I optimize the sound. Okay.
Like it or not, Facebook isn't going anywhere, and your business needs a presence on it. Despite emerging competition, Facebook still remains the largest social platform among consumers and marketers, with its robust set of tools, promotional opportunities, and insights. What's up? It's Jamal from HubSpot, and in this video, I'm gonna show you just how easy it is to make a Facebook page for your business, how to set it up, how to personalize it, and how to get started publishing content. Often when I log into Facebook, which is every hour on the hour, I'll find a brand new feature or another that disappeared. It can be confusing to keep up to date with the constant updates. To remove some of this frustration, I'm gonna get you up and running quickly and correctly. Remember, this is not your personal page. You'll log in as yourself to create the business page, but they are separate and need to be approached differently. There are many useful features that come with a business page that aren't available with a personal profile. No friend requests need to be engaged, which is good for me because no one has sent me one of those in a while. Which keeps it simple and immediate for visitors. Analytics to give you access to insights on your page's performance. You can also get help and manage who does what by assigning page roles to team members, and that's just a start. Once you're signed in, open the menu. Go under Create, click Page. Start by entering your page name. This is the name of your business, brand, or organization. Next, enter a category that best describes your business. Are you a pet grooming business? Cool, type that in. You can have up to 3. So if you offer boarding services and sell pet supplies, put those in too. Next, it's bio time. This is your page intro and where you'll enter a concise description of what you do in 101 characters or less. We don't want to hear the whole soliloquy that you prepared from, Pyramus and Thisbe. Keep this. Your bio should sum up the unique aspects of your business or define a problem and solution in the simplest terms. And while this step is optional, I dare say it's not something you'll want to skip. A good bio is written with your audience in mind. Yes, this is about you and your business, but people want to know what's in it for them. So if there's an ultimate takeaway you want your audience to know right off the bat, make that clear in the section. It could be that you specialize in long-term pet sitting. Click the Create Page button and you're off and running. The next step is where you'll enter contact info, all the ways people can connect with your business. Remember to define business hours and include special holidays to remove any uncertainty around your availability. Now, let's customize. This is where the look and branding behind your business get to shine. Upload your profile picture and cover photo here. An ideal profile image is your logo or professional headshot. It's a visual representation of your business that should be recognizable and memorable. Make sure you're using dimensions based on Facebook's recommended image sizes and specifications for the best results and to avoid the unfortunate cropping of important details. Choose this image wisely because it appears prominently on your page in search results and alongside your public comments. And every time someone shares your content, your logo will reach the eyes of a new audience, which helps your branding efforts, not to mention increasing the engagement of your content, which can then help you gain more followers and traffic. Let's move on to the cover photo. When you visit a great page, what's the first thing you notice? That's right, the large banner graphic at the top. That's the cover photo and the key to making a first impression with your audience. A well-designed cover photo can help establish some of your brand identity that ties back in with your website or your store. Think of it like a billboard or a retail shop window. Successful billboards take viewers on a journey, even if that journey is a few second glimpse before navigating away. Most designs tell the story with imagery and possibly some text. In fact, most visitors stop reading after a few words. Oh look, memes. That's what you're competing against. Use your cover photo to display new products, highlight promotions, and convey the essence of your brand. The ideal size is 851 pixels wide and 315 pixels tall. Remember, cover images with graphics or text work best as a PNG. JPEG is best for photos. Use Facebook's recommended file size of under 100 kilobytes for fastest loading times. If you don't feel you have design chops or the budget to hire a professional, it's all good. HubSpot has created cover photo templates that you can customize to suit your unique business needs. You can download them from the link in the description below. You're welcome. Now let's navigate to general page settings to add your username. Do not ignore the step. Looking at you, Jeremy. Custom usernames allow businesses to promote their presence on Facebook by providing a short, easy to remember URL. Your username should be straightforward so that it can be easily shared across social platforms and featured in your marketing materials. For example, an appropriate username for your pet sitting business could be @thecat'spajamas or Cat's Pajamas Pet Sitting. Plain and simple. A custom username makes it easier for people to find and tag your business in their posts. And when others tag your business, those tags equal publicity, engagement, and growth. It's basically free marketing. You've completed your bio, profile image, and thoughtfully branded cover photo. Now what do you want your engaged visitor to do? That's where the call to action button comes into play. Schedule an appointment. Visit our website. Give us a call. There are several CTAs to choose from. And if your CTA changes based on new products, services, and promotions, it can always be edited later in this menu. This horizontal 3-dot menu, also known as the meatball menu, has even more functions. Curious to see your page the way visitors will see it? It's in the meatball menu. Click on View As and check it out. Looks good, doesn't it? The page, not the meatballs. Now, let's build on this momentum and connect with those interested in what you have to offer by publishing content. You may think posting means a steady stream of pitching products or services, but in most cases, people turn to Facebook for information, inspiration, and advice. This will be the difference between catching the attention of a new customer and going completely unnoticed. Create compelling posts by sharing expertise that matches your audience's needs and interests in the form of photos, videos, graphics, stories, or links to external content. You'll create your post from the 9-dot menu or scroll down to the prompt that asks, "What's on your mind?" Once finished, tap publish. Your post is now visible to anyone who visits your page, in the feed, and other places on Facebook like search results or recommendations. Although your personal and business profiles are linked, Facebook treats them like two separate entities, which you can switch back and forth between easily. Just click on your profile picture in the upper right corner and choose See All Profiles. From there, you'll be able to select the profile that you'd like to post on from the drop-down menu. Just remember, once you switch over from your personal to business page, you'll be sharing, liking, and commenting as that page. Now that I'm thinking about it, publishing content could probably use its own video, and I promise we'll make one if you let us know how much you like this video by clicking the thumbs up or leaving a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on all of these juicy tips. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a business page to run. I'll see you out there.
And next up, we're going to teach you how to open up your Instagram page if you don't have one already.
This video is going to cover how to create an Instagram account. In order to create an Instagram account, you will have to have the Instagram app already downloaded onto your device. You can do this either through the App Store or through the Google Play Store. Once you have the app downloaded, go ahead and tap on Instagram to open it. After opening Instagram, you're brought to a page where you can sign up. You have two options. You can sign up using an existing Facebook account, or you can sign up with a phone number or email address. I'm going to tap on sign up with phone or email. After tapping on sign up with phone or email, I'm prompted to enter either a phone number or email address. I'm going to sign up using an email address. So go ahead and type your email address or phone number and then hit next. After clicking on next, go ahead and you can enter your name. Once your name is entered, go ahead and click on next again. After entering your name, it wants you to create a password for your Instagram account. Go ahead and type a password for your Instagram account and then click on next. After entering your password, it's going to ask you for your birthday. Go ahead and using the wheels at the bottom of your screen, enter your birthday. Once you have your birthday entered, go ahead and click on Next. After clicking on Next, you're brought to the Welcome page, where you're also able to change your username. Your username is going to be underneath the top of your screen where it says Welcome to Instagram. If you'd like to change your username now, you can tap on Change Username, but you also can do this in the future. I'm going to go ahead and click on Next because I'm okay with my username. After clicking on Next, it's going to ask you to find Facebook friends. If you'd like to connect your Instagram and Facebook account, you can do this here. If not, tap Skip at the bottom of your screen. Then it's going to ask you to find contacts. You can do this now, or again, you can click Skip at the bottom of your screen. You're then going to be prompted to add a profile photo. If you'd like, you can take this photo now, or you can select a photo from your camera roll. You can do this in the future as well. If you'd like to skip this for now, go ahead and click on Skip at the bottom of your screen. Next, you're going to be prompted to save login information. If you'd like, you can click on Save. That will allow you to sign in and out quickly through your iCloud. If you'd like to skip this, you can hit Skip at the bottom of your screen. The next page is going to allow you to discover other people on Instagram. If you'd like, you can scroll down your screen, and anyone you're interested in following, you can tap on Follow on the right-hand side of your screen. I'm going to click on Follow for Nike. After selecting a few people to follow, you can click on Next on the top right-hand side of your screen. After hitting Next, you're going to be brought to your home page on your Instagram account, and you're now able to use your new Instagram account.
Okay, then we can transition into our next video, which is how to create a Twitter account.
Welcome to my channel, Review Information. In this video I will show you how to create a new Twitter account in your mobile.
Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified any updates.
Let's go step by step, so you can see how easy it is to create a Twitter account in a moment. To begin, open the Twitter app from your apps drawer. Tap on Create Account. It's in the middle of the page. Doing so, it will open the Twitter sign-up form. Type your name into the name text box, near the top of the page. Then tap the phone number or email address text box, and enter your phone number. If you want to use an email address, tap on Use Email instead below the phone text box. And then enter the email address you would like to use. Then tap on Next, from the lower right side of the form. Again tap on Next. Tap the Sign Up button. You will see this option at the bottom of the screen. A verification code has been sent to your email address. Go to your email address and find the code. This is the verification mail from Twitter, and this is the verification code which you have to enter there. Then tap on Next. Enter a password that you want to use for your Twitter account. Then tap Next to proceed. You can upload a photo for your profile picture, or you can do this later. You can write something to describe yourself. You can do this later also. Sync your contacts with Twitter if you like, or you can do this later. Select a language, and then tap on Next. Select interests by scrolling through the list of topics. You can also just tap Skip for now, to do this later. Some suggestions will be shown to you. You can follow any of them, or you can tap on Next. You are all done. Once you complete this section of the setup, you will be taken to your Twitter feed, where you can begin enjoying your new account. You can start using your Twitter account right away. So in this way, you can create a new Twitter account in your mobile. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. Please subscribe my channel for more videos. Goodbye.
So the next video we're going to show you, if you don't have one already, is how to create a LinkedIn page. If you're a business owner and you are looking to either hire some people that you need for your business to help expand it, or if you're just trying to build your network, or if you are a contract worker or a sole proprietorship and you're trying to find new clients, freelance gigs or anything along those lines, you can most definitely open up a LinkedIn page.
Creating a LinkedIn account is pretty simple. You'll just need an email address and a few minutes of your time. Let's take a look at how it works. To get started, go to linkedin.com in your web browser. Enter your information, choose a password, and then click the Join button. LinkedIn will guide you through the steps of adding more detail to your profile. Next, you'll need to verify your email address. To do this, go to your inbox, look for the message from LinkedIn, and then click the confirmation button. You can also choose to sync the contacts list from your email account at this time. This will make it easier to find people you already know on LinkedIn, so we recommend you do this eventually. However, if you don't want to do it right now, you can just skip it. A few more screens will appear, asking for your photo and professional interests. Like with email contacts, you can skip these steps if you'd rather deal with them later. However, we encourage you to explore everything LinkedIn has to offer to ensure you're getting the most out of it. After the sign-up process, LinkedIn may ask you to upgrade to a premium account, which costs a monthly subscription fee. While the premium account provides additional features, such as more messaging options and job opening details, we've found that you can get a lot out of LinkedIn using just the free account. We recommend sticking with that one for now. Now that your account is set up, you're ready to start creating your profile and adding connections.
So one thing that's actually really good about LinkedIn too is that if you are, you've been working at a company for 4 or 5 years, and you decide that you would like to just promote that out into your network, you can most definitely just publish that you received a promotion or that you are working for a new industry or a new company. And LinkedIn is just like a social media for your resume. And having that opportunity to know, like for people to know and for your network to know what you've been up to and what you're working on, it's just a place for professionals to meet and network and meet each other and to get new business or get new clients. So the next video that we're going to show you, and the last video from this set, is going to be how to open up a YouTube page. So if you are an artist or a professional who wants to eventually publish commercials or just showcase a commercial about your entity or your company, or even to the fact that you might be a podcaster, or you could be somebody who wants to showcase their artwork or their poetry, or you might have a festival coming up and you want to be able to show snapshots from the festival. Having a YouTube channel is going to be super important because you will want to make sure that you're posting this content. And the best thing about once you post your content to YouTube on your channel, you can then take those links and then you can publish them. You can actually embed them into some of the pages that Isaac was showing you earlier with the websites. So with Weebly, with WordPress, Squarespace, anything along those lines, they give you an option where you can embed videos. So anything that you created, that can be another platform for you to use. And the best thing about YouTube, unless you are doing a paid membership, it's entirely free. So all of these apps that we've showed you so far, every single one of them is free. They do have paid options for most of them, but doing your own marketing and doing your own public relations, it can be completely organic and it's very easy to do.
Hey there everyone, it's me Camille from the channel Offbeat Look, and I'm going to show you how to get your channel started quickly and easily. What's great about YouTube is it's a platform where you can have a voice and share and build communities using video. I started on YouTube when I was 14 because I wanted to have a place to express myself and my favorite looks. Over the years, the community has grown, which has blown my mind. All of you have a passion to share and something to say, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to become a creator on YouTube. So let's get started. The first basic step is to sign into YouTube using a Google account. To create a channel, go into your account settings and click Create a New Channel. The channel name will default to your first and last name, but if you want to create a channel with a different name, click on Use Business or Other Name, and you'll be prompted to create a brand account. Brand accounts allow you to pick a specific name and let multiple people access your channel as managers, which is cool when you eventually have people helping you out. When I started, I didn't know what a good channel name was, so I used my first name, and because it was about makeup, it had makeup in the name. But when I decided to cover more general topics on my channel, I came up with Offbeat Look. The name worked much better for me because it clearly communicated what my channel was about. And that is pretty much the first step in getting started on YouTube. So what are you waiting for? There's an audience desperate to hear what you have to say. Check out the next video in this series and learn what makes your channel take off and how you can make some money on YouTube. Bye for now.
So I know we've been a little video heavy for this workshop, but I do have one last video for you. And for those of you who have not had the chance to work with Meta Business Suite, this is just going to be a quick tutorial on how to publish a marketing ad for your upcoming event or project. And I just walked you through that whole thing. Hi folks, thank you for still sticking around. So the next thing that we're going to teach you how to do is how to create an ad using Meta Business Suite. So for those of you who have never seen Meta Business Suite before, this is in my opinion, the end-all be-all to organic social media marketing for a small business. One of the best things about Meta Business Suite is that you have access to view your Facebook and your Instagram following. So, for example, you can see the followers that we have on Facebook up here. You see our Instagram followers over here. And in our little toolbar, as part of our dashboard, this has access to your insights based on a post, the option to make ads. You have a calendar planner, which shows you the way that you might have a number of different posts going out day by day. And when you want to post content or create content, you have this little button right here. And this will allow you to create a post that can go out on both platforms. And you have your inbox so you can read your messenger messages that are coming in from your business. You get notifications. They give you a little to-do list over here. And you have your search, your setting, and your help button at the very bottom. So let's get to creating an ad. We'll click the ads button on the dashboard, and then we'll be led to the ad summary page. If it is the case that we have an ad that is already circulating and boosting one of our posts or an event, for example, we'd be able to see the amount of reach over the amount of days. Usually it lasts for up to 60 days, but then you also have the option over here to customize where you would like to see some of your follows, likes, link clicks, or just the general post engagement. So I'm going to teach you how to make an ad. What we'll do is just click this button up here, and then we are going to create an ad from scratch. Just note that you do have the option to already boost content that you have previously posted on your page. So if you have an event that is happening on the 25th or the 26th, and you just want people to know that it's happening and that it still exists, you have the option to just go and boost that post on Facebook, or if it's posted on Instagram as well, you can boost it there. So let's create an ad. Good thing about creating an ad is that it actually shows you the examples of what you can do in terms of getting traffic. You can get more website visitors, and the best thing is if you hover, it will show you some examples of what you can do for this ad. We can boost an event, we can promote your page, we can promote your business locally if you have a brick and mortar. You also have the option for sales if you're trying to sell an item, or if you're just trying to get more followers on your page, you can get more subscribers, get more calls. So they really filter it down where it's pretty simple to just get an ad up and running. So if it's the case that you want to promote your page, which is what we're going to do today, because I feel that this would definitely help people who are starting out with a new business. And then right before we finish, I'll jump in and I'll just show you a quick example of how to boost an event that we already have going on. So we'll go and we'll open up, promote our page. And we can use a post that we previously had, or we can just take the description of our page. Mine, for Crystal Letters, it says creating to inspire and aspiring to create. And this is an image of one of the artworks that I created using black and white photography and AI and Photoshop. So since this is the last audience that I used, you can save your audiences and you can also create new audiences. So let's say we would like to create a new type of audience that we want to attract. So for this particular event or posting, I'm going to name this audience arts only. Gender, I think arts only would be good for both men and women, so let's just do all. And it's obviously good for all ages, so it usually starts you off at 18 up and 65 plus. So you have the option to change that if you are a business entrepreneur and your business focuses on children's arts or children's books or anything else along those lines. Then you can change the age and set it towards 3 to 4 year old range, or if you're trying to attract parents as well. It'll also give you an option to set up some locations. So what we're going to do, we'll just plug in Jersey City, and Jersey City will pop up. We can add to that, so I'm also going to do New York. There we go. So now I have my two cities. I'm able to reach a 25-mile radius, but if you want to expand your radius, you're more than welcome to do that. So let's go to 35. And for Jersey City, we want to expand it to as far as Lambertville. So that's about, let's see, maximum is 50. So it's just good to know that. And just keep in mind, you can definitely do this for free. So you won't need to worry too much about the amount that you're reaching. Detailed targeting. I'd like to attract people who are interested in visual arts. Okay, and then we'll save the audience. So this is just the audience. The audience is great. So now I have this option here where I can choose from my art and poetry people, or I can choose from my arts only people. So right now it puts the total budget at $35. This ad will run for 7 days, and it says the account center will reach about 143 people to 413 people. And average day page likes will go from anywhere from 7 to 29 likes. And this is just the estimated daily results. So imagine, let's put this on the high end where we're actually reaching 413 people every day. So that'll be over the course of 7 days, and I think that's really great. It usually will generate the date for you, and right now it's putting in the time and date that we have right now. We can set it to 7 days, do 6 days. It's entirely up to you. So for this particular one, I'll stick with the 7. And then we have the option of how much we want the increment to be paid per day. So if, for me, when I'm posting an ad, I think it's best for me to just spend $5. But if it's an event that I have that's going on, and maybe the event is a month or 2 away, and I have more time, I will increase the amount to maybe $10. Because that way I know that it'll be up longer. And then I can also increase my reach to up to 14 days. So that's 2 weeks. That's $140. I'm able to reach about 665 people a day and possibly get 49 likes per day. So I think that's really great. And then the final task would be to just click the Promote Now button, and you're able to publish your ad, or you can also schedule your ad, which is really great. So just keep that in mind. And let's go back to our ads page. Yes, we want to leave. So, like I said, I'm also going to teach you how to boost an event. So we're back to our ad summary page, and we're going to create a new ad from scratch. And we have the option to boost an event. So if you have already created a Facebook event and you want to boost it, the event will already pop up in your upcoming events. And what you can do is click the Boost Event button. And when you go to the Boost Event button, a new page will open up. It'll show you exactly what your ad is going to look like. It'll take the information that you used in your event page, and it'll give a rundown. You'll have your image option. You can change the image if you'd like, choose a new image, upload a different image, or even crop the image that you already have. And then you have some options where you can learn more about the special ad category, where it pretty much kind of like hyper focuses what your reach is going to be focused on. So if that's anything from credit to employment to housing, social issues, elections, or politics. And I think that's really cool. So we're going to reach out to our arts only people for this particular one. And since the event is coming up in a few days, we can just have the event run for 5 days. So just keep in mind, if your event is happening and it has a certain duration, that'll determine for the boosting of an event how long the ad can stay up. So for this particular ad, we're only going to be reaching 382 people per day and gathering about 18 likes per day on the high end. And since it'll run for 5 days, the payment will be a total of $8. So it's really straightforward when it comes to creating an ad. So I hope that this will give you an opportunity to make some ads and also not break the bank. And thank you for still staying around after that video. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is another social media marketing tool, which most everybody will probably need when they are working on an ad or working on an upcoming event or just using any of the social media platforms that we just talked to you about. So it's important because each one of the social media platforms, they have their own designated sizes that are needed for profile photos, landscape photos, portrait photos, square, stories, and cover photos. So if we're using Instagram exclusively, and that's where you do all your marketing out from, your profile photo is going to be 320 pixels by 320 pixels. So this is something that if you are a graphic designer, you'll know exactly how to switch these sizes over. But the other option that you'll learn about later is that if you are a person who creates their posts using Canva or any other type of design design application, they'll always give you the sizes that you need, and they'll allow you to customize them. And then if you're doing a landscape photo on Instagram, you will have to do your size at 1080 by 566. If you're doing a portrait photo on Instagram, the size is 1800 by 1350. If you're doing something square, and please keep in mind the square photos will always be important when you are using Meta Business Suite. Because if you're using Meta Business Suite and you want to make sure that the post is going out on both pages, the image has to be the same exact size. So Instagram kind of has this thing that if you're posting a horizontal picture, and then the following photo that you're doing is a square picture, it'll change the size and the dimensions of the original image that you have. So if the first image that you're posting is horizontal and you have that square image as the second one, it'll now take the dimensions of the horizontal image, and then it'll constrain your square image and it'll make it smaller and turn it into a horizontal image so that the feed is matching the original size that you published. So if you're using Meta Business Suite, try to keep all your flyers and your other social media posts to 1080 by 1080 pixels. And then for your stories in Facebook and Instagram, you'll use a size of 1080 by 1920. And the best part about the 1080 by 1920 is that is actually a size similar that they use on TV screens. So that size will be able to translate from your social media to a TV screen. If you're hosting an event and you just want the screen to showcase the upcoming event flyer that you have. So if you're doing a Facebook page and you need to get all of those sizes correct, for your profile photo, you'll do a 170 by 170 pixels. Landscape photos are 1200 by 630 pixels. Portrait photos are 630 by 1200. Square photos are 1200 by 1200. Stories are the same as Instagram, which is the 1080 by 1920. And if you're doing a cover photo, those are always going to be 851 by 315. They recently changed the size of the Facebook cover photos, so just keep that in mind. If you ever run into a hiccup where you're trying to you're trying to upload a cover photo and the sizes are incorrect, you could just go into Google and type in what is the 2020 Facebook cover photo size, and then when you do that, they'll show you what the exact dimensions are, and then you can just not have to worry about the size constraints of that. And the best thing about the cover photos is if you have an event that's coming up and you want people to know, but you don't have the time to, you don't have the time to use Meta Business Suite to publish the rest of your ads or to publish the rest of your social media posts, the cover photo will just be a bracket for you to have when people go on your page, or if people just wander in and see your page, they'll see your cover photo and then they'll know that there's an event coming up. So now when we go to X, which is also formerly Twitter, profile photos are going to be 400 by 400 pixels. Landscape photos are going to be 1024 by 512 pixels. And then cover photos are going to be 1500 by 1500 pixels. And last but not least, if you are using a LinkedIn profile, your profile photo is going to be 400 by 400. Your landscape is going to be 1200 by 627. And portrait is 627 by 1200, and then your cover photo will be 1128 by 191 pixels. And the same thing with Facebook cover photos. LinkedIn is normally changing the sizes. They're constantly updating the platform, so you can just type that into Google and you can find out what the sizes are if they decide that they want to change them in the near future. But if you have a chance, just take a screenshot or take a photo of these sizes, because these sizes will come in handy for any type of event or posting that you'll need to do in the near future. And the next thing that we are going to go into is public relations. So what is public relations? Public relations is the practice of managing and disseminating information from an individual or an organization to the public in order to influence their perception. Public relations and publicity differ in that PR is controlled internally. So everything that we've been talking about today, we are learning how to do the social media. We are learning how to do the public relations, and we're all trying to learn it as business entrepreneurs for ourselves so that we can help promote the things that we want to promote that we think our audiences will be interested in. Whereas publicity is not controlled and contributed to by external parties. So, for example, if you see videos of a celebrity walking out of an airport and you see all those photographers that are out there taking photos, or you see reporters running up to them during like a film screening or something along those lines, that's where publicity differs so much from public relations, because public relations is really you having the core of what the business is and being able to externalize that publicly to the audience. And next we have our public relations marketing tools. These are our newsletter platforms, which are going to come in handy if you both want to pay for a newsletter that gives you a little bit more than a free newsletter would give you. So here are some options we have. We have MailChimp, which is a paid option. We have Brevo, which is also formerly known as Sendinblue. And with Brevo, you can send up to 300 emails per day with your newsletter. We also have Constant Contact, which is a paid option. And then you can do it manually and the old-fashioned way. If you want to send your newsletter through email, you can BCC all of the emails that you've gathered over the past couple of years, and you can use that as a free resource for networking and just publishing your newsletter. So, and then the last option is going to be MailJet, which is a paid option. So just keep in mind that when it comes to creating a newsletter, yes, it can be daunting. Even if you don't have a designer, even if you don't have somebody on your team that can help you create a newsletter, even just writing an email out the same way you would to let people know that you have a festival or you have an event that's coming up, that can just be it. Maybe you just have one email or one block that has the content of the event that's happening, the date, the time, and then you have the flyer that's attached along with it. And, being able to use these platforms in this way, you will take less stress off of yourself, because now you're adding an additional marketing tool to your tool belt that you probably didn't have before. Question in the chat? Oh, thank you for joining us, Cheryl. And then our next public relations marketing tool is going to be the physical marketing tool, which is a flyer. So some common sizes for flyers are 8.5 by 11, 5.5 by 8.5, normal postcard size, which is 4 by 6. And then we have the larger, close to legal size, which is 11 by 17. And then we have the long, narrow size, which is 99 millimeter by 210 millimeters. Those type of flyers are normally used across Europe, Asia, and Australia. But these are going to be some key sizes if you decide that you want to go with the printer and have some flyers manually printed out that you can hand out for your event that is upcoming. And then we also have some basic postcard sizes for you. We have the extra large postcard, which is 12 by 15 inches. And we have our jumbo postcard size, which is 6 by 11 inches. We have the medium postcard size, which is 6 by 8. And of course, the standard postcard size, which is 4 by 6. So you have options that if you want to do a postcard, this is something that people can still take home with them. There are people who scrapbook, so maybe they want to add it to their scrapbook. So just having an option to work with all these sizes, you can definitely make something that's a little more portable and can be taken with them on their journey until they meet you at your upcoming event or festival or anything else along those lines. And then the next thing we'll jump into is, what is a press release? A press release is an official statement delivered to members of the news media for purpose of providing information, creating an official statement, or making an announcement directed for public release. Press releases are also considered a primary source, meaning they are original informants for information. So, for example, when we first launched the workshops for the Confined Arts, Isaac was trying to find a way to let people know that these workshops were coming up. So I went along and I wrote a press release for the workshops. We worked on it back and forth together. So if you do decide that you're a business owner and you want to employ a writer or have somebody who works with public relations, this is something that you can have them do, because they can draft the entire press release out for you, and yourself as the business owner, you can go back, edit it a couple times until you get the right wording and the right voice of your company. And when you're ready, you can use their resources, and they will be able to circulate the press release for you to different news outlets and media outlets that are based in the country or the state that you're in. So since we are exclusively working out of Jersey City and New York in collaboration with the Confined Arts, a lot of the press release marketing went to New Jersey outlets and also went to New York outlets. So that way we're gathering two different outlets from two different states, but we're combining those together. And this is something that is definitely going to help you get your press release into newspapers. You could possibly get your press release listed in a radio talk show. You can also even have it posted. I've even had instances before where we've had flyers that are posted onto news platforms, like live news platforms. So like CBS 2 News, ABC New York, News 12 New Jersey. So this really just expands your reach in a way that you would not be able to reach people just only using social media. And then we also have, I think this one was from, okay, yes. So what is an infographic? So an infographic is a graphic visual representing information, data, or knowledge intended to inform quickly and clearly. They improve cognition by utilizing graphics to enhance the viewer's ability to see patterns and trends. So if you are attending a theater performance, and most of the times they will give you a playbill, and the playbill will have a collection of all the actors in the show, the cast and the crew. They will also have a list of ads that are coming up that people bought out, or sponsorships that are dedicated to the work of theater. So an infographic will definitely be something that you can hand out. This could be a pamphlet of some sorts. This could just be a one-pager that has a bunch of images, or just something to let people know about your business.
Crystal, is it okay if I give you a breather? I can do the next few slides.
No problem.
Thank you so much. You're doing an amazing job. And I'm just like, it's so crazy because like I've gone through these slides, obviously, right? But just even as we're going through the information, I'm like, wow, I can be changing up some things. I can be adding some things. So your business is going to ever be an improvement for you. So you always find ways for you to be able to improve the work you're doing and also to increase your visibility. But moving to the next slide, designing your brand. This is very important. Before you can really advertise anything that you're doing, you do need to create, your identity. What is your brand? And when you think of your brand, think of your identity. How do you want people to recognize you? How do you want them to notice you? And what feelings, thoughts, images, vibes, what do you want them to get when they see your logo, see your colors, see your brand, right? So with creating your logo, thinking about what are your brand colors, right? What colors stand out specifically to the work that you're doing, right? There are certain colors that, like, if your business name is Cookies Royal, you might gear towards purplish colors because royalty and purple have links there. And there are different colors. We can you can do a simple search to find out what are color associations, and that should help you to get a sense of how to identify the correct color that you want to use to express a particular idea, thought, or feeling. Also, what images and gestures represent you and your work. So thinking about this, when you sit down with a person and you're like, hey, I need this logo, and they ask you these questions like, what colors do you want to, what colors fit you? I think the work is more geared towards like a purple. It should be purple because we have royal in our name. And maybe we should have some gold, purple and gold kind of give that vibe. It's like, okay, so we got the purple and gold, but what images do you want to have as well? So if it's cookies royal, then maybe you have a cookie. Maybe you have a broken cookie. Maybe you have cookie chips. But what is the image and the gesture? Maybe you have someone biting a cookie, right? So you have all of these options, right? But you want people to be able to recognize you by your brand. So people can just see the logo and they say, oh, I know what that is. Like that big red circle. When we see the big red circle, we know that's Target, right? We don't have to do, we don't, we don't second guess what that is. When we see like the Pepsi sign, we know that's Pepsi, right? When we see a Ford symbol, we know what it is, so over time, your logo will create the identity. It is your identity, and it will create the recognition in people's minds to know who you are. So just keeping that in mind, your brand is your identity. So when you go to create your logo should be the personification of what that identity is. So not just slapping something together, but really giving considerable thought to your brand design. We can go to the next slide, because with that, you may need to design your own, logo, right? And you have these options. The easiest option that we would say to use to brand to create your logo would be Canva. The reason I say Canva is the easiest one is because Canva gives you a lot of I was wondering, my microphone is not on. Canva gives you a lot of free options. Not free options, free templates already. If you will, could I actually share screen since I have Canva up? I want to just show people some stuff real quick. And I promise I won't be more than a minute. So just really quickly, I want, because the logo is like everyone's starting point. So I really want you to know how easy it is to make a logo on Canva. So you just go to canva.com. You can pay for services so that you can get extra features, but Canva does let you work straight up for free. So what you could do is put in logo for templates, and it will give you logo templates, right? So say I liked Color Studio, right? Customize this template. This is the beautiful thing about Canva, is it lets you customize every aspect of any template that you have. So I could take these letters, and I could resize them if I wanted to. I could crop them. I could edit the image, because these are actually images. These are not letters. So you can't go in and change that. That's something to keep in mind for some of these logos. You can't change these letters because this is an image and it's not actually text. But for another logo, which, like if we use this one here for Mango, you can change the text here, right? You might need different shapes because that's not the shape that you needed, but you can change it. So just to say, all of that to say is that you have a lot of options already in Canva ready for you, and you can just customize them. So I'll come out of sharing screen. You can put the slides back up. But I just wanted to really quickly just show everyone how easy it is to create a logo on Canva. But if you are a bit more seasoned with your designing, then you have the options of Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and all of those things will get you to your point of having a good logo. And with that in mind, once you have a logo, get you some business cards, right? Put your website on it, put your social medias on it, put all of the information that you've been gathering on your business card.
So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. This is our last Q&A of the afternoon, so I'm hoping that the information that you were able to gather today helped you out a lot. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat now.
Yes, please. And thank you. This was it's so funny. Me and Krista was wondering if we would get through this in time, and we did successfully. So this is a great thing. But we also discussed, just as a little teaser to prepare for, we have also discussed, after we complete the 4th workshop, that we will create a guide that will be available for a few bucks for you to purchase a full written guide, all of the resources that we've outlined and more. So we'll go even deeper with you on some things. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Look out for that, probably at the end of this year or the top of 2024. But if there are any questions, please, I have any questions? Okay. No questions in the room with me. I don't see any questions in the chat. So maybe Crystal, unless you can take us out if you have any final words, and let's just play the resource slides for a few minutes, and then we'll
That's
call
exactly
it
what
a
I'm gonna
day.
do. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for being on. We hope that this information was very, very useful to you, and we wish you the best in all your endeavors. Take care.